What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Predator movie review. So it came out in the UK tonight. I just went to the first showing at my local cinema, and unfortunately I've got a bone to pick with Odeon here. It was only in 3D, and personally I do not like 3D because it makes the film really dark and you've got to wear glasses. It's like, dude, I don't want to have to wear glasses when I watch a movie whatsoever. I'm not interested in that one bit. But I wouldn't have been able to see the film until like next week or 2 weeks time if I hadn't have done that. So I sacrificed it, and as expected, the 3D was okay for a bit, then your eyes adjust and it's completely and utterly pointless. But the opening scenes in 3D were pretty cool, to be honest. So if you have the option, if you don't mind spending the extra money, it's not too bad. But 3D, it's pointless, absolutely pointless. But Predator, so Shane Black has brought in a new reboot here of the Predator. I tried to stay away from too much of it. I'm getting a bit bored of like films revealing so much. I mean, Spider-Man PS4 is a game, and they had so much of the story coming out in trailers and things like that, and there was so much drama surrounding the movie. I was like, you know what, this is one I don't really cover Predator on my channel. If you're interested in Predator and that kind of thing, you could check out Mr. H Reviews. He's a guy who absolutely loves his Predator, and I've subscribed to him for quite some time, so go and check him out. But I'm not a Predator guy, so this isn't going to be a big in-depth lore thing. I've got a passing interest in Predator, so I wanted to go in relatively blind, and personally I didn't expect this to actually be a sequel. So you may be wondering, where does this actually fit in the Predator timeline? So if you remember, in 1987 we had the original Predator with Arnie and Jesse the Body Ventura there, which was dope. Just absolutely just iconic movie there. Just pure iconic, really. And then we had 1997, we had a weird Predator 2 set inside a city, and then we had Danny Glover face the Predators, which was just a bit weird, to be honest. I enjoyed it when I was a kid, and I haven't watched it in the recent years, but it's serviceable, isn't it, really, at the end of the day. And then, of course, we have the Alien vs Predator movies, which were, by and large, pretty crap. They were terrible. I don't think they are actually canon in this movie, because we actually saw some interesting things going on with they actually kind of explain where this movie sits, so that's not canon. And then, of course, we had another Predator movie, which we had Predators, which was Adrian Brody, Topher Grace, Lawrence Fishburne, where humans are transported to this weird like scrapyard planet where people are actually kind of hunted by the Predators for sport. So yeah, they're kind of really bad people that are taken. So it's weird. It seemed like the Predators had some sort of actual, I'd say, morality, I guess. It's weird. But that's kind of where it sits. It's just before, I think it's just either before or around the same time as Predators. We know the incursions of the Predators appearing on Earth by this movie, the 2018 Predator. Well, it actually, there's more and more visits of themselves. So with that in mind, I expect it's around about the same time. So what next? Overall, it's a fun movie. Like, I don't know what you expect going into a Predator movie, especially a Shane Black movie, because it's absolute kind of madness, chaos, explosions, crazy stuff like that. Absolute madness. And of course, if you remember Iron Man 3, he likes to play fast and loose with the continuity of major characters. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was an absolute nostalgia trip throughout. The entire movie there was references to Get to the Chopper, and it was actually motorbikes that they got on, things like that, and Bubba, and they just have so many iconic lines that are just spouted out by these characters. But unfortunately, the main character, Boyd Holbrook, the actor who plays him, it didn't hold a candle to Arnie. He's no Arnie. And to be honest, there hasn't been a main character to fit that role of Arnie whatsoever. So I won't hold it against him. I thought we did a good job. I thought, like, in the whole scheme of things, that the character was fun and interesting. But there's so many little points in this movie which just didn't get picked up. So, for example, we start off with him. He's about to kill like some Narcos kind of people, which is quite funny because he's in Narcos. And then the Predator ship lands. He's then on the run for some reason. and then we find out that he's got a family and he's estranged from his family. We never really learn why or what happened to him in the meantime. And when we have a whole kind of Predator lab, and we never really learn more about like what they were doing and things like that. We never really learn more. There's so many like things introduced into this. I mean, we've got Olivia Munn's character, who was just there for some reason because she's Olivia Munn, but she was good in the role. It's just that they never really expand upon it. They just throw characters and then just be like, they're just there. Then we're not going to explain why they're there or kind of who they are or the backstory or dial in on this interesting character. I mean, we had a group of kind of crazy vets. We had big actors as well. We had either Key and Peele. I can never know which one's which. I always mix their names up. But we have that. We've got Thomas Jane as well. We've got Alfie Allen, which is Theon Greyjoy, or Lily Allen's brother, if you know the song Alfie. And we've got just crazy stuff going on with this group who are really cool and interesting and kind of unique and could be like a mirror image or a kind of a reverse image of the original group from the first movie, but they don't dial in on this group and kind of focus and kind of focus in on that. They just focus on having weird predator dogs that for some reason follows Olivia Munn around. And then we have this Sterling K. Brown character who is a villain for some reason, doesn't explain why he wants to kill people, doesn't explain why he's so ruthless or why it's so incredibly secret that people need to die. It just doesn't feel odd. Like the writing of that character just doesn't fit, and it's not consistent as well, because he like pats the guy, like the main character, on the shoulders, like, yeah, we're going to dance later, and it seems like they're mates. It just does not fit. The writing is not consistent with the human villains in this movie whatsoever, especially with the end of the movie when we have the new kind of weapon that's given to us. Why is that Predator group actually nice and the kids working there? It's just doesn't, again, it's just not consistent whatsoever throughout the entire movie. I mean, the plot actually revolves around a Predator who's a traitor, but then lands on our planet and starts killing all the humans that he's there to save. So why does he want to do that? And again, not consistent, because we have like the Predators speak amongst each other away from the main characters, and then the main characters explain that what they've said in kind of been like, yeah, they're here to fight this guy, here to fight the traitor when the other Predators come down. It just doesn't fit whatsoever, and the script is pretty poor. But then again, I said, what do you expect when it comes to Predator? What do you expect with it? Would you expect kind of highbrow drama, a kind of nuanced, kind of real sort of play on the Predator genre? No, this is a reboot. This is a sequel, but a reboot of the 1987 one, with the gore, the violence, everything. So yeah, if you just go into it as a popcorn movie, you'll enjoy it. But some things took me out of it, just like the main corporation villain in the movie, and Jake Busey's there for some reason. And there's so many factions that come into it, and it just feels a bit of a busy film. And it's a really short movie. It went really quick, to be honest. I think maybe if they just had the Predator escape, and then they were tasked by the main villain character to go and take them out, and then it could be like a Hogan's Heroes. I think it's Hogan's Heroes, the guys who were in prison in World War II and then they had to go on a crazy mission, maybe a bit Guns of Navarone. That's what I thought the movie would actually be about, but it wasn't. It was just weird. And then for some reason this feels very much like Iron Man 3. We have a random kid, well, not I say random, but he's kind of there and is just smarter than absolutely everyone, and for some reason can read the alien technology that really smart people couldn't. So there's a lot of coincidences and kind of things like you just have to remove your brain and enjoy the action and the fun of it. There's some very funny lines and quips. I know I'm being really negative in this review, but I actually liked it and I enjoyed it. It was really fun, and I guess sometimes you just really want a fun movie to just kind of zone out to, watch the Predator kick ass, watch people kill the Predator, and just fight. So I'm excited to see where that goes next. We've pushed forward the mythos. That's what's weird about this, is that the mythos about hybrid predators, and they're kind of trying to take on take as many humans as they can for their own gain, before we kill ourselves with global warming. I mean, there's mental health, there is kind of like mentions of Asperger's and global warming. There's so many messages in this, but it's just so on the nose, you just think it's ridiculous. And it's not, if you're offended, if you like an SJW, you ain't going to like this movie because it's completely un-PC. So yeah, maybe don't go and see it. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'll give it a thumbs up. Not 2 thumbs up, but I'll give it 1 thumbs up. It's worth watching if you've got a Limitless card. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like. Please subscribe. See you soon. Goodbye.